Mount St. Helens. Roscoe Rocky Shorey was an avid outdoorsman and personal trainer. He went out to Mount St. Helens last month to snowboard down the volcano when disaster struck. Investigators say a section of snow along the summit collapsed beneath Shorey's feet, triggering an avalanche that sent him 1,200 feet into the crater below. One of the 911 calls included a woman who received a text from friends who discovered Shorey's body, asking her to call authorities.
They believe someone may have fallen into the crater. They found someone's belongings, including a phone and everything, at the top. And there's like markings of someone having fallen off.
Shorey had climbed St. Helens nearly 30 times and Mount Hood 44 times. Rescue crews recovered his body earlier this month.
6:04, an accused shooter is now facing a charge for animal cruelty after a beloved family dog was killed in broad daylight in Seattle last week. Last Thursday in the Lake City neighborhood, Michelle Michaels let her dog Stevie outside. Minutes later, she heard a gunshot and saw Stevie lying in the road. Court documents say the accused shooter is Yusuf Magan, a neighbor. He told police that the dog charged at him, but according to a witness, Stevie was just standing there when Magan fired. The shooting has scarred Michaels and her roommate.
It's really hard for me to see my friend go through this. I feel so at a loss myself, and I don't know how to help. She's very broken.
Police arrested Magan on April 4th, but he was released the next day after he posted bail. His arraignment is scheduled for April 22nd.
New details this morning on a huge multi-state retail theft operation. Bellevue police say they've blown wide open. One of the 3 women charged yesterday was already accused in a similar, though much smaller, crime in December. Detectives say this video shows her and an accomplice ripping off a Kirkland Lululemon last August. Prosecutors say it's one of the at least 42 times they hit mainly Lululemon stores up and down the West Coast. The value of stolen merchandise is staggering, totaling more than $537,000 in total. Police released these images of the suspects: 49-year-old Janice Wiley and her daughter, 24-year-old Janice Downs. 19-year-old Reality Levins. Wiley and Downs were both arrested at Downs' Kent home on Wednesday. In addition to evidence, police also seized 3 rifles. Downs and her mother are both convicted felons and can't have guns. The other woman charged, Levins, was already facing charges in a separate retail theft case in December. Police say she was one of the 4 women who ripped off more than $20,000 in sunglasses from Nordstrom at Bellevue Square Mall.
Right now, a Snohomish County woman accused in a cold case murder is going back to Arizona. Annie Anderson is accused of killing her baby and dumping the baby's body at the Phoenix airport almost 20 years ago. Snohomish County deputies arrested 51-year-old Anderson in December. Investigators called that baby Skylar and spent years looking for the person responsible for her death. Anderson will face first-degree murder charges in Arizona.
Tukwila police are frustrated this morning, saying they're set up to fail for the catch and release policy they're forced to use with teens. In fact, they say the situation played out last weekend when they caught a teen that the youth detention center refused to take in and caught that teen hours later prowling cars. It's a frustration police departments have expressed with leniency laws for teens for a while now. Whether it's electronic home monitoring or just release to parents, they're caught in a loop of catching the same teens, which they say are now more bold and likely to fight back, knowing there's not many consequences.
A Renton teen is charged with robbery and having a gun, but a judge decided yesterday to let them go home on an electronic ankle monitor. The chase happened in Renton earlier this week. You're looking at some video. Police say 4 teens stole a man's car, cash and jewelry, and then crashed at a grocery store.
As a community, we need to have these tough conversations and try and get some help and some intervention to help these young offenders.
Well, the 2 other teens are also charged, and a different judge kept them in juvenile detention, and officers are still searching for that 4th teen.
Frustrations boiling over by a lot of people in Seattle after the public library announced it will be closing several library branches starting this weekend through early June. Branches are shutting down because of staffing issues. That includes closures to Rainier Beach, Beacon Hill, and many others. It stems back to a hiring freeze and looming budget shortfalls. Library workers spoke at last week's city council meeting and said this freeze has a real human cost.
When libraries close, it means the whole community loses a place to turn for learning and joy and safety and connection with each other.
This would not be an issue if the freeze ended and our branches could be fully staffed.
Councilmember Tammy Morales has also expressed frustrations. In a statement, she wrote, "This is a wake-up call for our city. Without urgent action, things will get so much worse than this." You can be sure to check the Seattle Public Library website for updates on their locations. 6:09 happening today. The Seattle Cherry Blossom and Japanese Cultural Festival is hosting a 3-day event at the Seattle Center. It will run from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Armory Food and Event Hall. Organizers say there will be fun for the whole family, including cultural performances and activities.
Oh, that sounds like a good time. Although anyone heading into Seattle this weekend is going to deal with those slowdowns.
All the construction spots we have to talk about. Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah, northbound from Boeing Field up. Boy, I know that's going to be rough.
It definitely will.
At least the weather's not going to slow things down. Construction-wise,
Right.
weather-wise, it's going to be perfect. It's all about the sunshine today. If you look outside right now, you have some low clouds, sure, but what a nice view live from Tacoma. It's just clearing. We'll see continued clearing into the afternoon. Just a little bit of low cloud cover now, but farther north, we're still talking about some drizzle and fog and some mist, as you can see live in Everett right now. Visibility is actually down around, say, Shelton to a couple of miles, but that's about it. What you're looking at, though, farther north is just some decreasing sprinkles. Not much on the radar, as you can see, but we still have a few light showers, maybe around Everett to Arlington, and just more than anything, you're just jam-packed with low-level moisture. All of that clears, even if you see a little fog, and then we see sunshine, at least partly cloudy at lunch, getting up to, say, 59, 62 from Seattle through Tacoma, through Olympia, 63 in Chehalis, 58 in Bellingham, 60s for the coast. Then tomorrow, the smallest amount of patchy fog, and I'm going to show you where I think that will be, especially like east of the area, like the east side, actually even more into the Cascade foothills coming up. Sunday we have sunshine, but late in the day we got to talk about what moves in and how that impacts Monday. We'll talk about all that here in less than 10, but make sure you download that kiro 7 mobile weather app. Handy way to watch all of it right on your phone. Yeah, Niku, you mentioned it. We got a lot of closures coming our way this weekend.
Yeah, so we definitely want to touch up on the I-5 northbound one Lindsay was just talking about. So I-5 north, it's going to be reduced to 2 lanes. That's starting tonight at around 10 o'clock. And it will last the entire weekend. It's not reopening until Monday morning at around 4 a.m. So just a heads up, I-5 northbound will be reduced to just 2 lanes, and that's going to be between Boeing Field and Albro Place. So definitely going to be a headache for folks that are trying to head into the city. Right now, though, we're looking at 520 at 41st, and just looking at the usual construction out here, not seeing any major problems. Look at all that green we still have on the map.
That's awesome.
Yeah, looking great out there.
All right, coming up, a man caught on camera stealing a car minutes before almost running over a family. The video you've got to see.
Plus, we're just days away from the start of Seattle Restaurant Week. I'm giving you a taste of what you can expect from this year's Big.
Make your house a home with a new spa from Aquarex. Aquarex has the lowest prices in the Puget Sound area with 5 brands in stock ready for immediate delivery. Easy financing. Before you buy a spa anywhere, be sure to see Aquarex.
Any engagement is important, and choosing the right ring can be a challenge, but Porcello Jewelers can help you find the perfect custom engagement ring. Our artisan jewelers can craft your perfect engagement ring in any shape, size, and budget. At Porcello's, we have unmatched personalized customer service, where your satisfaction is our top priority. Our team of professionals includes Rolex-certified watchmakers and some of the most experienced custom jewelry designers in the area. Porcello Jewelers, your trusted jewelers since 1952.
We back, baby. Hey, man, these people freaky.
Gotcha. It's okay. We do commercial plumbing and residential electrical, too.
Man, you know what's up.
Hey, wait. Stop freaking. Call Beak.
Breathing Claritin Clear is like...
Is he?
Claritin Clear? Yeah.
fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, like nasal congestion. Live Claritin Clear.
We know you care. But if this is all too real for you and your loved ones, make the call. Because we care too. Home instead. To us, it's personal.
What do you do with 72 hours, 18 holes, 4 friends, and 1 wedding? The absolute most. For however you fit. Bonobos.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty. You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more. Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
Call 888-882-2439.
Whether you're an active person that wants extra supplemental movement, maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work.
Washington grown.
This morning, former Seattle Seahawk and 2014 Super Bowl champion Ricardo Lockett is in an Atlanta jail on gun and stolen car charges. The Georgia State Patrol pulled him over for suspicious tags. Now, detectives found that the truck was reported stolen out of Atlanta last year. They say the identification number on the car is fake. Lockett told troopers he bought the car in 2020 on Facebook Marketplace, but he could not provide proof of that.
Well, check out this caught on camera moment. Seattle police say this man was caught stealing a car just minutes before he nearly ran over a family. This is wild. Detectives say the 36-year-old got into this car on April 1st in the Portage Bay neighborhood. The owner helped track the car using an air tag. But when officers found him in Eastlake, he tried to drive away.
Hey, Seattle police!
Oh. Keep an eye on this dash cam video. The driver got in the car, pulled out of the parking space, and then hit an empty baby carrier. Also a police car and 2 parked cars before flipping over. Police say he almost hit a toddler. 3 officers were hurt. Eventually, officers tased him and say he had tools to steal cars, drugs, and an illegal gun. And 1 person is recovering in the hospital this morning after this fire in Linwood yesterday. Crews contained it mostly to the first floor of the home. It was a 3-story home. The person in the hospital was treated for taking in too much smoke. 4 others ran inside to save their pets. All of them and their 6 dogs are okay. And take a look at this tough landing in Auburn. Everyone walked away from this crash just fine yesterday. The pilot had some trouble with the landing gear and wound up in the grass after a bumpy landing. Crews were waiting to help him when he landed.
617, sushi, pizza, Mexican, Thai food. Oh, are you hungry yet?
Sounds good.
Whatever you're in the mood for, chances are you're going to find it at a great deal during Seattle Restaurant Week.
Yeah, and in this week's Around the Sound, I'll take you to the east side where one restaurant is working hard to make sure their customers get the full experience. Restaurant Week highlights the best in the biz in and around the greater Seattle area, and it helps put a spotlight on the restaurants participating. One restaurant getting ready on the east side is Hanoon in Kirkland.
It's definitely a spike in business. It's a great kind of boom for the local restaurant scene. Just get ready for something that's outrageously flavorful. I mean, it's definitely something a lot of people haven't had, but sometimes, you know, taking a walk on the wild side's great.
Hanoon has 2 separate offerings, a 3-course $20 lunch deal with mezes, wraps, and a dessert. For dinner, expect mezes again, a grilled entree, and dessert for $35. You can expect a Middle Eastern fusion with a PNW flair.
Because we try to strike that balance, I think that there's a lot of people that feel at home with some of the, you know, traditional things that are executed really well, and then I think people also feel like it's exciting because we're doing new things. And so I think we get a mix of people who come here and, you know, it reminds them of home in a way, and we get people who come here who also just feel like it's something new that they've never tried.
Between the daily house-made fresh bread, chicken shawarmas, and unique flavors and spices, it's no surprise Hanun has become a foodie favorite. Marketing manager Azmi says a big part of the experience is feeling like you're at home.
Come to Hanun, let us take care of you. Let us kind of show you some of the best elements of our culture, and then, you know, how we're always kind of thinking of the next thing. And I think that people will feel at home here, but also have, you know, an experience in, you know, if people think of a Middle Eastern restaurant, I think that we also want to broaden someone's idea of what that means.
Seattle Restaurant Week starts this Sunday and runs through the 27th. We have a list of participating restaurants on our website, kiro7.com.
All of that looks so delicious. I think I'm ready to just check out these restaurants, right?
Yeah, there's so many options. Yeah. Anything you want. Like we said it, Mexican, Thai, Chinese, you name it. We have a list on our website. Any kind of cuisine. Love it. Participating.
And how much of that did you bring back to share?
Well, it was in my tummy.
I'm moving on right now before I get angry because George is getting upset. If you look here at SCA's SeaTac, you have a cloudy morning, but it's dry here now. Had some moisture overnight, but most of that shower activity has moved north. Still cloudy in Olympia. Have a little bit of fog in Shelton right now. These are all live, by the way, out to the coast, Hansville, Auburn. Again, some raindrops or some low-level moisture, but we're all clearing. And by lunch, it'll be partly cloudy, turning mostly sunny up to 59 to 60 in the Renton area today, around Burien, around SeaTac, around Kent, Des Moines, Kent, and Covington, all at 59. Puyallup, Auburn, and the South Hill, 61, and Federal Way, Tacoma, Fife, all about 58 to 60, even 61 degrees. Marysville to Lake Stevens, Snohomish, Monroe, upper 50s, lower 60s. Now here, you do have some light showers still, or it's quite drippy, and it's going to be that way for another couple of hours, but by lunch, turning partly cloudy and drying out. You're seeing the same thing as you follow I-5 north into Mount Vernon and Bellingham, but as you get farther away from that, we're seeing some clearing in Tacoma, but you do have some fog in Shelton. We'll clear it out, though, pretty easily, getting into the low to mid 60s. So if you are in, say, I don't know, like the Port Orchard area, for example, like Brutus Beefcake, who has to be Brutus the Barber Beefcake, if you know, you know. Anyways.
Hello, Brutus.
I know. Take some pictures just like this. And by the way, if you can get Brutus like a random cat friend and take a picture, I will put Brutus on every single day. I want the odd animal pairings. Go to kiro7.com/petwalk to upload fantastic shots just like that. A little bit of patchy fog tomorrow. In fact, I am updating as we speak off camera the latest computer models. What I want to show you is in the 6:30 half hour, just a tiny bit of fog tomorrow, more than likely closer to the Cascade foothills and just really over the passes. So Stevens, Snoqualmie, maybe a little for White. And then it's sunshine. Sunday, we see brief morning clouds like Montesano, Elma, McClary, Centralia, Olympia. It clears. But like today, you do feel a little bit of increasing wind. Today, it's like 10 to 20 miles per hour. It gets a little breezier Sunday evening with increasing clouds, and it leads to that on Monday. But then we really just warm up and dry out again after that. 6:21, Niku is here, and I still want some of that food.
I know. I want that food right now, too. I'm starving. All right, we're taking a live look outside. Look at this beautiful sunrise. At least folks here are enjoying this gorgeous sunrise for their morning drive. This is a look at 90 right now, and look at traffic. Barely seeing any slowdowns on the map at 6:22. We're off to an excellent start so far. And if you're driving on 90, you'll have a beautiful sunrise shot as well. Be sure to download the KIRO 7 News app. You can stay up to date on real-time traffic conditions as you head out the door. It is 6:22, and coming up, a state lawmaker wants swift action from Seattle Public Utilities after false alarms at the Tolt River Dam. The stiff penalty he wants to see for future alarms.
Join KIRO 7 Cares to help drive out hunger. You can drop off non-perishable food like rice and canned goods at your local Les Schwab Tire Center. Or if you're heading to QFC, you can buy a virtual bag right at the register. All food collected will be delivered to Food Lifeline to feed local families. Find a list of participating locations at kiro7.com/food drive.
What do you do with 72 hours, 18 holes, 4 friends, and 1 wedding? The absolute most. Pool time? Check. Tea time? Check. Loser buys drinks? Check. Tie a few knots? Check. For however you fit. Bonobos. What do you do with 72 hours, 18 holes, 4 friends, and 1 wedding? The absolute most. For however you fit. Bonobos.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today at 206-727-4000 for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
What do you do with 72 hours, 18 holes, 4 friends, and 1 wedding? The absolute most. For however you fit. Bonobos.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
Call 888-882-2439.
Whether you're an active person that wants extra supplemental movement, maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation, Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now and order Ellipse.
If you're on supplemental oxygen, heavy and awkward tanks are a burden. Now you can leave A Heating and Air.
625 in King County, Mulbacks could be returning to its old location with a new concept. The Woodinville home and garden favorite shut down in late January after 67 years when a planned redevelopment deal collapsed. Now it's launched something called Green Phoenix Collaborative to reimagine its former space. The focus won't be large-scale retail, more like a gardening hub with classes and events. Fundraising is still underway, so there is no firm opening date quite yet. Well, the Seattle Area Drug Enforcement Agency has a new employee in its midst.
Yeah, but it's not what you think. Meet Dame. Back in December, the 2-year-old shepherd mix was found cold and hungry near a Taco Bell in Silverdale. A Good Samaritan noticed she didn't have a collar and brought her to the Kitsap Humane Society. The shelter says Dame struggled there, suffering from kennel stress. And that's when they decided she needed a job. The shelter called the Pierce County Sheriff's Department and hooked her up with a new gig. Now she works alongside a DEA task force officer and is very much loved by her new coworkers.
That is awesome. Did you love how big her ears were? They were amazing.
I do. And that dog does its job, then it plays, then it does its job, then it plays, and it could not be happier. Hey, cloudy skies this morning for most of the area. I have a few things happening. 1, I have some clearing in Tacoma, which is really nice. 2, I have some fog in Shelton, and I have some sprinkles, say, from about Everett North. So it's a little different from area to area, but we all have sunshine in common this afternoon and this weekend. So, of course, we're going to time out when the sunshine comes out this afternoon and this weekend because it won't be out the entire time. We got to take a look at that here in the 6:30 half hour.
All right, thanks, Nick. And parents at one Tacoma school are upset after brown water was seen coming from the school's taps. The response from the school in less than 5 minutes.
New details after a deadly wrong-way crash near Alderwood Mall, how it happened, and what we're finding out about the victims.
Do you feel that? That's the feeling of excitement in the air because it's the last chance ticket sale at Silverwood Theme Park. Yes, you heard that right. Last chance. Get your tickets now and save big on over 70 rides and attractions. From heart-stopping roller coasters to family-friendly rides, we've got it all. You'll be having so much fun, your kids will forget that you're embarrassing them with your mom dance moves. Visit silverwoodthemepark.com and get your tickets now. Silverwood Theme Park, where the fun never ends.
Breathing Claritin Clear is like...
Pretty girls walk like this.
Is he?
Claritin Clear? Yeah. Fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, like nasal congestion. Live Claritin Clear.
What do you do with 72 hours, 18 holes, 4 friends, and 1 wedding. The absolute most. For however you fit. Bonobos.
It was one thing when my mom got Alzheimer's, but then we started noticing things that seemed off. She developed agitation that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. Sometimes she'd fidget with her fingers, get suddenly overwhelmed, and even throw things. And that was just never her. So we asked her doctor what else we could do.
Rexulti is the only FDA-approved medication proven to reduce agitation symptoms that may happen with dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. Rexulti can cause serious side effects. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke, report fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, which can be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, increased cholesterol, low white blood cells, unusual urges, dizziness on standing, falls, seizures, trouble swallowing, or sleepiness may occur.
Rexulti helped reduce my mom's symptoms.
Take action for your loved one. Ask their doctor about Rexulti.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more. Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
Call 888-882-2439.
Batteries Plus Business.
Now on Cairo 7 News.
A kidnapping turns into a deadly crash in Snohomish County. What we're finding out from troopers and what sparked the high-speed chase.
Thank you for always being there for me. I love you. I'm sorry.
A distraught daughter fighting to bring the body of her murdered mother back home. What's standing in her way?
And for months, discolored water has been pouring out of the faucets at a Tacoma elementary school. What the district is now doing and why parents say it's not enough to protect their children.
Let's take a live look outside at our little overexposed Seattle camera, but you can see some clouds in the back, and still, even though it's really bright, it's looking beautiful. It's Friday, April 12th. Welcome to Cairo 7 News in the Morning. I'm Niku Kazori.
I'm Lindsay Sheldon. Niku has your real-time traffic, some changes ahead over the weekend to talk about. But first, let's check in with Nick because it's looking like a pretty good weekend.
It really is. It's about time we get the sunshine to match the weekend. But yes, this morning you saw a lot of cloud cover there. If you're at the bus stop for the next couple of hours, I do want you to count on a few different things because it really varies. Say from Shelton where you have fog to Tacoma where you're seeing some clearing to Seattle where it's cloudy to Everett where it's drippy. So farther south, you're seeing a little more clearing. Farther north, you still have some light rain. But everybody will see sunshine by the end of the school day if you happen to have school this week. So what we're focusing on is when the clouds clear from area to area, not only today, but this weekend. And then we have to look at some big changes into Monday. Nico will take a look at all that here. Why don't we say at about 6:38?
All right, good looking forecast. Let's take a look at traffic right now at 6:31. Look at all this green we have, and look at this beautiful shot coming to us from 90 this morning. Westbound seeing just a bit more traffic compared to the eastbound lanes, but traffic has been very light for your Friday morning drive, and it looks like we have a gorgeous sunrise forming for a lot of drivers this morning too. We'll look back at the map and camera coming up in just a few minutes.
New details in a deadly crash in Snohomish County that shut down SR 525 in Linwood for hours. Right now, the suspect is at Harborview in Seattle facing possible DUI and murder charges. Snohomish County deputies were chasing down a suspect who they say is kidnapped a 34-year-old woman from Monroe. She was in the car with that 37-year-old driver. When he went the wrong way on the highway, deputies stopped chasing him, but he hit another vehicle shortly before 7 last night, troopers said. That crash scattered metal and other debris across the road near Alderwood Mall. Troopers say that the driver in that second car was an 83-year-old woman from Linwood. She died in the wreck. The State Patrol says the kidnapped woman is hurt and at the hospital.
I'll never get to hear her laugh again, the laugh that I heard for 32 years.
A Seattle woman is trying to make sense of her mother's murder, and right now she can't even say a proper goodbye. Amber Yugovich was killed and sexually assaulted and left for dead in the street last week in Nicaragua. Only on Cairo 7, her daughter tells us about the devastation she's feeling.
I'm going to miss her. I know a lot of people are going to miss her.
Kali Shelton says one of her mom's neighbors told her about the tragedy. Yukovich was living in Nicaragua near her boyfriend, Brian Bell, who's now arrested in the case. Shelton remembers her mom as a wonderful person, a caring grandmother, and someone loved by the community. Now she's just focused on raising the money to bring her body back home.
The lawyer alone wants 10 grand up front just to assist me in my travels to Nicaragua. And, you know, plane tickets are going to be another $3,000 to $4,000. And the process of bringing the remains back to the United States is going to be another, at the very least, $5,000.
Shelton has a GoFundMe that's already raised $8,000. We'll post a link on KIRO7.com.
In Skagit County, Anacortes police say the husband of an Island View elementary school teacher is now a suspect in her death. On Tuesday, the body of 41-year-old Caitlin Folstad was found inside her home, which is right across the street from the school where she taught 5th grade. On the same day, Washington State troopers found her husband's vehicle parked on the Deception Pass Bridge. There were reports that a body was spotted in the water, but authorities say Kevin Folstad is still missing. The community is stunned.
We just realized that it just hits home when it's so close. I feel sorry for the kids in her classes too, and her students. I mean, you know, it's really tough for kids at that age to understand something like this.
Later today, the Family Life Church in Anacortes will hold a vigil in Folstad's honor. It will begin at 4 p.m. this afternoon. And looking ahead, we have a traffic alert for West Seattle. The Lower Spokane Street Bridge will close for 9 days. During that time, it's getting some upgrades. Crews will be rewiring the bridge's control and communication system. The closure starts at midnight, and the bridge is scheduled to reopen midnight, April 28th.
And a heads up for drivers in Snohomish County. Tonight, drivers will be diverted as crews work on Highway 2 near Lake Stevens. Washout plans to close part of the freeway between Highway 9 and 204. Construction workers repairing the US 2 bridge deck will set up detours. The closure starts at 8 o'clock tonight, lasting until 6 tomorrow morning.
$1 million. That is how much a local lawmaker wants to fine Seattle Public Utilities for every false alarm at the Tolt River Dam. Senator Brad Hawkins, who represents the city of Carnation, is preparing that legislation right now. We spoke with him earlier about how it would work.
The money would be payable to the city of Carnation and could assist them with a variety of activities, including mental health counseling, emergency evacuation preparedness, road improvements, signage, and things like that.
Senator Hawkins says the soonest he can get the ball rolling on this legislation is December. We'll continue to track it.
Parents and students at Bernie Elementary say Tacoma has brown water and it's coming from its taps. That's been happening for months. Andrea Holt is an avid member of the PTA and a mother of a 1st grader. She told KIRO 7 in late March she and another mother went to wash their hands when this brown, murky water came through the faucet. Holt says she was immediately concerned for the kids. The two of them found cases of water bottles brought in by the school and another parent, but they were never notified about the problem until they got an email yesterday.
So if there's something in that water that they shouldn't be drinking, what's going to happen when one of those students is sick or ends up possibly dying? What are we going to do now?
Tacoma Public Schools responded to KIRO 7 in a statement saying, "We've sent water samples to a lab for testing and we're working closely with Tacoma Public Utilities and experts to ensure the safety of our students and staff." TPU has been conducting water flushing in the area and has expressed that Tacoma's water meets all federal and state drinking water regulations and is safe to drink. All students and staff have access to filtered water in the main building.
Almost 2 months after federal aid was approved for Spokane County residents, people are getting it. The Gray and Oregon Road fires destroyed more primary homes than any other fire in state history. KHQ reports $2.4 million in aid has gone out so far. The deadline to apply, though, is fast approaching. People can register until April 20th. Meanwhile, the Department of Natural Resources is preparing for the upcoming wildfire season. Officials are concerned about the snowpack.
Looking at the snowpack across the state right now, problem areas in the North Cascades and the Olympics. Some of those areas are 20 inches of snow water equivalent below average.
He predicts our state will have an average fire season.
Well, the final days of the local ski season is winding down. Let's take a live look at Crystal Mountain right now, and really pretty shot coming to us from the Midway Lift area. After this week, operations are running on weekends only. The last day at Crystal Mountain is April 28th.
I still have more snow for you. Not really today.
Yeah.
But Monday, snow levels will be as low as 2,000 feet. Now, it's not going to be a lot, but you still will see a little bit more. And I tell you, it's really, really temporary because by Tuesday, it's number one, it's dry, but then it's significantly warmer.
Wait a second.
I know. So I just made it worse. Let me make it better, as always. Here we go. Live from our Emerald Queen Casino camera in Tacoma. That's a gorgeous view. And, you know, most of us are on our way to seeing sunshine here over the next couple of hours. It might take a little bit longer if you are from live in Tacoma to live in Arlington, where you still have some low clouds and still some moisture. So we do have some rain out there. The thing is, if you look at your radar, you're not really seeing much. Temperatures are uniform. 46 in Arlington to Lake Stevens. 47 in Kenmore, 45 in Edmonds. Getting into the Renton area, 47. Redmond, Sammamish, Mercer Island, all right there in the mid-40s. And then Kirkland, Kent, Federal Way, about 45 to, say, 48. So not really a huge change area by area because we've had a solid layer of clouds. That's beginning to change. And in the meantime, you also still have just a sprinkle or two from, say, like the Everett area to Arlington to Mount Vernon to Bellingham. But this is almost done. So you will see cloudy skies to start farther north. You also have to keep in mind you have a little bit of fog around Shelton. All of that clears, and by lunchtime, I think it's partly cloudy, turning into the upper 50s in Seattle, 62 in Olympia, about 56 to 60 from Everett to Lake Stevens, and in the upper 50s in Bellingham. Tomorrow, it's the smallest amount of fog, but I did just finish the latest computer models. I will show you where I think we'll see it tomorrow coming up. And then Sunday, a little bit of low cloud cover, the beautiful sunshine. But the wind does pick up in the afternoon, and so does the cloud cover, leading to some cooler and wetter weather for Monday, but Monday only. Download the Kiro 7 mobile weather app. You can watch any rain coming right your way on your phone. 6:40, Niku's back, and you know what? It's Friday.
Yes, finally.
Friday!
Yeah, traffic. It feels like Friday traffic, too. Look at this pretty sunrise as well. This is 90. And, yeah, eastbound, westbound, very light. And look at the map. Barely seeing any slowdowns. Just our usual suspects, Federal Way, Auburn, Renton, and also just around the Georgetown area. But other than that, this is the most green I've seen on the traffic map in a long time. So enjoy your drive and enjoy that really pretty sunrise as well.
Coming up, what kind of breed is your dog? Learn about the tech tool helping pet owners solve that problem.
What do you do with 72 hours, 18 holes, 4 friends, and 1 wedding? The absolute most. For however you fit. Bonobos.
There are a lot of us now, and it means so much when we can all be together, especially when we can do something good, like our yearly service project. We're also running a t-shirt fundraiser through Custom Ink to help raise more money and awareness for the cause. Our t-shirt fundraiser with Custom Ink makes it easy to share our campaign and help our community, and their design services team helped us get a design we love. I'm proud that we can make a difference together as a community. Come together for a cause. Get started today at customink.com.
What do you do with 72 hours, 18 holes, 4 friends, and 1 wedding? The absolute most. Pool time? Check. Tea time? Check. Loser buys drinks? Check. Tie a few knots? Check. For however you fit. Bonobos. What do you do with 72 hours, 18 holes, 4 friends, and 1 wedding? The absolute most. For however you fit. Bonobos.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more.
Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
Call 888-882-2439.
Whether you're an active person that wants extra supplemental movement, maybe you want to keep your legs active while you work, or you wish to support your therapy at home, or you just want to build strength, increase your mobility, flexibility, and boost your circulation, Ellipse was made for you. Power-assisted exercise that frees your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activities. Just plug it in, place your feet, select your speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work for you. Call now and order Ellipse.
If you're on supplemental oxygen, heavy and awkward tanks are a burden. Now you can leave.
We are Muckleshoot.
Fallout continues from Arizona's Supreme Court decision to reinstate a ban on nearly all abortions. Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit the state today. She's on a nationwide Fight for Reproductive Freedoms tour. The Civil War-era law was written before Arizona became a state. It bans doctors and others from performing an abortion unless the mother's life is in danger, with no exceptions for rape or incest. Yesterday, Arizona lawmakers battled on the House floor. Republicans fought an attempt to repeal the 1864 law.
All in favor of that motion, vote aye. Aye. All opposed, vote no. Ayes have it.
Former President and Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is now distancing himself from his previous stance on abortion and the most conservative views within the GOP. Arizona's governor vows to repeal the ban.
644, Boeing International leaders say the company is on a trust-building tour and trying to reassure customers that it's still a safe company. Since the door plug blew out of that Boeing jet in January, the company has been dealing with investigations, safety feature struggles, and falling stock prices. With the company's CEO stepping down at the end of the year, it's on the remaining leaders to steady the course.
We are in the moment of a deep, fundamental trust-building exercise that has to flow through our entire factory. Our engagements with the press, with government stakeholders, with our own employees.
Landon Loomis there is the Latin American president for the company, and he's working closely with LATAM Airlines after one of those planes suddenly plummeted midair and injured 50 people on an international flight. That turned out to be caused by a feature on the pilot's seat that jerks it forward. Pilots and flight attendants didn't know about it.
Well, taking you to Florida, where a man's dog warned him about this giant alligator in his backyard. Tim Wynn lives on a farm near Miami-Dade and sees a lot of wildlife. He says as soon as he heard his dogs barking, he knew something was wrong.
When to see what's going on, why they barking a lot, so nervous.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I'm scared about it.
And what did you do, call 911?
Yeah, I called 911 right away.
Yeah, luckily animal control arrived to help remove the alligator. They say the gator measured just over 11 feet and weighed nearly 500 pounds.
Oh my gosh, I can't get over those claws. All right. Well, there's been a big boost in the number of people testing their DNA to find out more about their ancestry. Now, a lot of people are doing the same for their pets. Ancestry, long known for its human DNA testing, launched a product called Know Your Pet DNA. Brian Donnelly helped develop the product, which retails for about $80. The cost, though, doesn't seem to bother most. Owners, vets, breeders spent more than $322 million on it in 2022. But some are wary of the new tech.
If your goal is figuring out what breed of dog you have, then I think that they're fun and useful. The problem is we don't really have a specific idea of what a breed is genetically. So there's no real way to say the tests tell you much of anything.
Last year, Dr. Lisa Moses there called on lawmakers to establish standards and regulations for pet DNA labs. I just love all the video.
I know, I love all those cute dogs. Well, camping and boating on state lands could get a little more expensive next year. The State Parks and Rec Commission is considering increasing fees for campsites. Officials say the proposed hikes will help the agency catch up with inflation. The current price of a basic campsite with no hookups stands at $32 during peak season. Under the new plan, the price would jump to $37. Meanwhile, launching your boat from a state-owned dock costs between $5 and $7. The new plan would set the cost at $7. The State Parks and Rec Commission director is likely to make a decision this month.
Spring's here, and the Spring State Fair is underway right now in Puyallup. It runs through Sunday, then again the 18th through the 21st. There's motorsports, rides, dinosaur exhibits, barbecue competitions, even racing pigs. Tickets vary in price, but the two things you need to know: kids under 5 are free, and all kids are free on Thursdays. A general rule of thumb: tickets are cheaper if you buy them online ahead of time.
Perfect weather for it, too. I'm sure a lot of people want to be out and about this weekend, taking in all that sunshine.
And this is what we're starting with.
It's gorgeous.
Not everywhere, and I did just show this camera last time, but it was so pretty I had to do it again. It's just so nice out here. The wind is calm at the moment because there's still that steam rising straight up in the air, but it is going to get a little gusty overall area-wide later today. But that's good news because live from Tacoma to live to Everett, the clouds and low-level moisture and raindrops we have in Everett will clear with some increasing north wind at around 10 to 20 miles per hour this afternoon. And if you look here, you can see on your storm tracker there's really not much moisture left, except for, say, around like Everett north, but you do have a lot of cloud cover. Looking ahead, here's now through lunchtime. You'll see decreasing clouds and increasing sun. Now at lunchtime through the end of the day, even more clearing, so we're just looking at sunshine today. But a fly into early Saturday, and I'll just show you briefly a little bit of fog, especially closer to the Cascade foothills. But from 7 to noon, that goes away, and by the end of the day, it's just sunshine. I also want to show you overnight Saturday into Sunday. What you'll notice is there'll be a few more clouds on the South Washington Cascades, but no big deal. And then that's low marine cloud cover just for part of the area Sunday morning. Sunday morning through lunchtime, that stuff clears. But then in the second half of the day, high clouds increase, and to go with that, it will also become gusty to breezy for the second half of Sunday because you're starting to push in colder ocean air. So today it's increasing sunshine. It's 56 in Everett to 58 to 60 in Lake Stevens, Snohomish, Monroe. It's Federal Way at, say, 58 to 60. It's about the same in Auburn, around Kent, Renton at about 59 to 60, Olympia, Yelm there in the upper 50s and lower 60s. And then tomorrow it's just sunshine. 64 at least. Sunday, I still kept it about the same temperature, but you are going to see the increasing clouds and it gets breezy. Then Monday, we're down to 53. Snow levels are lower. We'll see some light rain, but after that, we sure do clear out. By Tuesday, we're in the mid-50s and at least low 60s for Wednesday and Thursday, and I think that drier, warmer trend continues for the rest of next week. Okay, at 6:50, Niku is back. It's a calm morning, but I'm worried about the weekend.
Yeah, we do have that construction for a lot of places starting tonight. So just a heads up, we're looking at 90 right now. This is one of the areas that's going to be affected with that construction, the weekend construction happening tonight at 10, 90 westbound heading into the city between Island Crestway, that's in Mercer Island, to about I-5. Watch out for those lane reductions. That's going on through the weekend. Also, I-5 northbound from around Boeing Field to Albro Place. The lanes will be reduced just to 2 right lanes. So definitely a lot to talk about, but at least right now, enjoy your drive. We have a pretty sunrise here and plenty of green. If you have to head out right now, you can get traffic updates on the road. Just listen to Cairo News Radio 97.3 FM.
It's 6:51. That means CBS Mornings is just ahead at 7.
And here's Nate Burleson with a look at what's coming up.
Hey, Lindsay and Niku, good morning. Good to see you. Here's what's coming up on CBS Mornings. Much more on the complicated and controversial life of O.J. Simpson. Columnist Bill Rhoden, who covered Simpson since the beginning of his career, joins us to talk about how he captivated the country on and, of course, off the field. Also, you can never have enough kindness, and Steve Hartman has another episode of Kindness 101, this time on altruism. He introduces us to a young man who will teach us what it means to pay it forward. And you'll meet one of Nashville's most in-demand songwriters. His name is Ernest, and he's out with a new album that includes a hit song with his good friend, the one and only Jelly Roll. Hear what he has to say about this new chapter in his life. We will have everything you need to know, and of course, more on the show. We'll see you at 7.
Thanks, Nate. Love those Steve Hartman stories. Well, at 6:52, let's take a live look at the numbers on Wall Street. Once again, the Dow down about 235 points right now. It hasn't been a great week for the Dow. NASDAQ down about 110 points right now. S&P 500 down about 28. Investors are still concerned about that persistent inflation.
The shores of Lake Chelan offer a getaway that feels worlds away. Sip world-class wine, hit the links on legendary courses, and soak up the sun exploring unique hiking trails. And when you travel to Lake Chelan this spring, don't miss the unforgettable Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival. See acclaimed artists perform at award-winning wineries and downtown venues around Lake Chelan. Relax in one of Washington State's most charming destinations. Plan your visit now at lakechelan.com.
Dealing with an electrical issue? The folks at As You Wish Electric are definitely the people to know. Projects big or small, As You Wish Electric has a team of experienced technicians standing by to tackle them. Your electrical problems will disappear in a snap with a little help from your friends at As You Wish Electric.
We back, baby! Stop freaking, call Beacon. Hey, wait. Stop freaking, call Beacon.
Toyota is all about having choices, like more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including this powerful new Tundra with the best resale value in its class.
Toyota also believes in the power of personal choice for reducing carbon emissions, including this built-in-the-USA electrified Tundra Hybrid.
Now choose 2.25 APR financing on any new Tundra. Plus get $1,500 bonus cash on 23 Tundra Hybrids.
The choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
Breathing Claritin Clear is like...
Pretty girls walk like this. Is he?
Claritin Clear? Yeah. Fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, like nasal congestion. Live Claritin Clear.
What do you do with 72 hours, 18 holes, 4 friends, and 1 wedding? The absolute most. For however you fit. Bonobos.
Hi, it's me, Anthony Sullivan. And yes, you've actually caught me at home relaxing because life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with American Residential Warranty.
You won't believe what ARW covers. Heating and air conditioning, washers and dryers, kitchen appliances, plumbing, water heaters, electrical systems, flat screens and laptops, even pools and spas, and so much more. Call American Residential Warranty. They'll get you covered.
Call 888-882-2439.
Deal ends Friday, April 12th.
New details in the deadly crash that shut down SR 525 in Snohomish County for hours. The suspect is at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, facing possible DUI and murder charges. Snohomish County deputies were chasing down that suspect, whom they say kidnapped a 34-year-old woman from Monroe. She was in the car with that 37-year-old driver when troopers say he went the wrong way. Deputies stopped chasing him, but he hit another vehicle before 7 last night. Troopers say the driver in that second car was an 83-year-old woman from Linwood. She died in the wreck. The State Patrol says the kidnapped woman is hurt and at the hospital.
Burien City Manager Adolfo Bailon is demanding the removal of the chief of police. He wants Major Ted Bowe out over his handling of the city's camping ban. In response, the chief wants Bailon to provide examples of incidents that might support his demands.
Frustrations are boiling over from a lot of people in Seattle after the public library announced it'll be closing several branches because of staffing issues. Starting this weekend through early June, Rainier Beach, Beacon Hill, and several others will close. This stems from a hiring freeze and some looming budget shortfalls. They're asking you to check the Seattle Public Library's website for updates on locations.
In King County, Mullbach's could be returning to its old location with a new concept. The Woodinville Home and Garden favorite shut down in late January after 67 years when a planned redevelopment deal collapsed. Now it's launched something called Green Phoenix Collaborative to reimagine its former space. Fundraising is still underway, so there's no firm opening date just yet.
All right, we have some clouds this morning and even some pockets of rain or some drizzle farther north, but all of that is going to clear and it'll be a beautiful day. Expect at least partly cloudy skies by lunchtime, but like I said this morning, we've had some cloud cover, a little fog developing in Puyallup, a little fog developing in Shelton. We've had that drizzle around the Everett-Arlington area. Again, all of it goes away, then sunshine this weekend until the second half of Sunday when clouds and wind will increase, leading to Monday.
Let's take a look at traffic one more time. This is beautiful, 6:57, so right before our 7 o'clock morning rush hour, and look how light the traffic is. Beautiful sunrise coming to us from 90 as well, so the drivers there are definitely lucky this morning. You can see westbound traffic starting to pick up, but really not an issue at all for drivers. Watch out for that weekend construction. There are a lot of places that will be getting worked on this weekend. We'll have all of that and explain all of that at noon as well.
We want to thank you for watching KIRO 7 News. Be sure to join us for KIRO 7 News at noon, and CBS Mornings is up next. Happy Friday.
Live professional boxing returns to the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. A full evening of boxing action. Saturday night, June 15th. Make it a destination event. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this evening of pure excitement. The best in professional boxing returns to the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. June 15th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
We are more than a zoo. We protect and enrich the lives of animals. When you give, you save species in the wild. You restore precious habitats. You feel the deep connection that we feel, and we know they feel it too. Give to Woodland Park Zoo today.
Jim Zorn here for All City Fence. I've learned early on that All City Fence brings real value to every project. For more than 70 years, they've stood behind their work and their products. All City Fence, allcityfence.com.
Breathing Claritin Clear is like...
Pretty girls walk like this.
Is he?
Claritin Clear? Yeah. Fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, like nasal congestion. Live Claritin Clear.
We know you care. But if this is all too real for you and your loved ones, make the call. Because we care too. Home instead. To us, it's personal.
The Spring Boats Afloat Show on South Lake Union, April 25th through the 28th. Enjoy food, cocktails, music, seminars, shopping, boat rides, historic tours, and festive family fun. Plus, lots and lots of yachts. For tickets and information, visit boatsafloatshow.com.
Now on Cairo 7 News.
A kidnapping turns into a deadly crash in Snohomish County. What we're learning from deputies and what sparked the high-speed chase.
A rescue dog shot and killed in broad daylight. The owner's neighbor, now a suspect. We're breaking down the charges he's facing.
And 911 calls document a shocking and tragic discovery at Mount St. Helens. What the caller said following an experienced